Alright, welcome back everybody to Phlox'em. Gonna be just doing some gameplay today. Really excited to get back into, yeah, just some playing. There's been a lot of fun stuff going on. Been doing the Swindle Sassbound, which has been a really interesting format. I feel like it's given me some confidence in some of my decks that I wasn't really sure um, quite how well they stacked up. Just I don't play a whole lot of like super competitive stuff. So there's some decks that yeah, I'm getting to kind of run them through a little bit more of a gauntlet, which has been cool. But it's also made me have to really think about like how much do I actually value SAS, and I think it's really revealing that I kind of do value it more than I even would probably say on this on these videos. And so um, I think what it is causing me to do is that I'll probably go back into my collection and actually try to kind of create a strength list and see if I can do it with, like, while ignoring SAS, which is hard because I already know the SAS numbers of a lot of those, but just really try and see if I can actually maybe, like, start with my most powerful, like, really low SAS, and then see, like, where would I say the next strongest deck is, and kind of see if I can just go upwards that way, and see, like, well, maybe this deck is actually better than anything I have up until, like, my like 85 or 86 SAS deck or whatever. So it's been good in that sense to kind of yeah, reveal in me that I actually maybe do value that a little bit too much and need to kind of just play some of my decks a little bit more, or just evaluate them a little bit differently than I have been, to see what I think is actually some of my strongest just straight up Archon decks. Another cool thing that's coming up, I'm not 100% sure if I'll get to do this or not. We might be going to see family that weekend, but the first Keyforge Premier League qualifier is next Saturday, I believe, and it's a Triad 75 SAS cap, which is something that for a long time I definitely didn't think I had the collection for, and I think I actually do have some decks that I could throw in there now. So depending on schedule, maybe I'll hop in on that and maybe I'll record some, but we'll just see. For today, we're gonna have some fun. I think I commented on one of Dinobot's videos recently. He did a stream, and one of the decks he played was just like, I think it was super deficient in Aember control, and I think it seems like he had a lot of fun playing it. But it just kind of made me realize how much I love playing decks like this. Like, there's always a challenge in winning, like especially if you're playing in competitive queue and stuff. There's always kind of that. Uh, you have to find the lines, you have to do the right strategy and everything. But I just personally really enjoy playing with decks that are like strongly deficient in like one area. And I think Amber control especially, I just kind of make it my like goal to win with low Amber control decks. Maybe because I just have a lot of them, but I think it really lets you focus on other aspects of the game that can be really fun, like efficiency, like disruption especially. I think I've shown this on here before. Rapid Castle Sage, I'm not going to try and pronounce the first part, is another one that's like that, and this is one of my favorite decks in all of my collection, but it's a 0.3 Amber control, so it has Cutthroat Research, and then it technically has Mimicry, which more often than not ends up getting used for some kind of Amber control from my opponent's pool. But this deck just does so many other kind of combo-y, like Igors and Regrowths and Darnas and all kinds of things like that, that it's just really fun to get to just focus on those things and just kind of treat it as kind of like that all-out sprint of like, I just have to get 3 keys first. I'm not even going to worry about how many keys they have. I just have to get 3 keys as fast as possible. You still have to worry about their board and stuff, and this one especially really hinges on this double hysteria to kind of basically cause enough disruption to equal Amber control in that sense. And so this is one of my newer decks that looks like it's going to have some similar things going on. It's going to be a lot more board control, probably a lot less disruptive. You can see over here it doesn't have any kind of disruptive rating, which is really weird because it has 3 Aemberspine Mongrels. I've always liked this card. I think it took me a while before I had a copy, even though it's been out since Age of Ascension. But it's just kind of one of those ones where like your opponent just either has an answer for it or has to play around it heavily. And most of the time, they just have an answer for it, and it kind of just comes down, you know, they have to spend a control card dealing with it, and then they go on with their lives. But with 3 of them, I really want to see if this can actually do some damage, especially against kind of the heavier, kind of board-centric or creature spam kind of mass mutation decks that I've been seeing a lot of lately. I think we're still, especially this weekend, I think is the last weekend for the Firesale Frenzy decks to get their practice games in. So we might have some pretty rough matchups. But, you know, we'll just see how it goes. I think this is going to be a really fun one, though. It also has Mad Prophet Gizelhart, which I think this is the first deck I have that in. And then the Z-Force. Oh, yeah. So, play it against the Wookiees. So probably going against some pretty fire stuff. Let's see. Triple Igor, Double Imperium, Molina, Red Alert, Techivore. I gotta look at Techivore. I don't remember if that's one that is a problem for me or not. I actually don't really know what all my artifacts look like in this deck. You might have saw on there, it has the Skirmiter Favian with Capture Pip on it, which is fun. There's not a ton of Capture Pips in the deck, so it's nothing too crazy, but let's see. We're going to leave Z-Force on top of the deck. Play this guy down, and then we'll play the Aemberspine Mongrel. Obviously, they don't have any creatures down yet, but just kind of getting some sticky stuff on the board. Oh gosh. This could be an interesting play. Do they have the Edai? And they have... Man, they don't have a ton of Amber control. They got the Red or Galen. That could come down and really punish this, but I mean, we might just do a wild bounty into Fertility Chant play. It's really funny. So, like, especially in Call of the Archons, the, like, super heavy Amber Rush decks were definitely, like, very strong. And they did a combination of, like, Untamed Amber Rush and then Shadow Steel. I never got decks that did that in Call of the Archons. I think it was... I probably didn't have a deck that was really good at that until Mass Mutation. I think I enjoyed doing it in other sets besides Call of the Archons, because Call of the Archons can just feel so dirty sometimes. But let's see. I think he's got 2 archives, so he could actually do some damage here if I don't kill that. That's fine. We'll just go for it. We're not giving him a key here. So we'll drop this first and see what we draw. Don't get anything that's worth playing. So there's the double Fertility Chant, and then we are just going to fight this Eddie off the board. This is just a nice 9 Amber turn. Feels a little gross. We'll see. So I didn't look it up. This might be the deck he chose for the Firesale. It looks like a very solid deck, but it is maybe a little bit low on Amber control, unless there's something I'm missing. The Techivore Pole Plate is really interesting because that could hurt him way more than it hurts me. Like, I'm fine losing this. Let me see what other artifacts. Oh, that's my only artifact, so yeah. He might just discard that one, but I mean, the triple Igor is always fun. Igor is such a great card, and it's just, yeah, just feels good to play, feels good to Hysteria, especially in that deck I just showed. But I'm really banking on a lot of this repate to kind of help me keep their Amber down, because I'm not doing much else. You did see, I don't know why the Amber control is so low. It might be, yeah, the Fertility Chant counts as a minus 1.8, because I have Barrister, I have the Scrivener Fabian with some Capture Pips, and I have a Bringlow, so there are, like, answers. They're all pretty much in one house. Wow. Does play the Techivore. Oh, that's really interesting. Because now, I guess he just goes back into Star Alliance. But I'm going to give him some issues with doing that. Yeah, we're just going to play the Sanctum out. don't think ordering matters too much here. Let's see. Just do that. Yeah, really curious why he played the Pulpate, but we'll see. He's got to fight 2 of his Star Alliance into this now to kill it. Okay, yeah, so he goes Saurian, just destroys the Golden Spiral, which is great for me. Just feeling more creature heavy than I thought it should feel. Okay. So we'll see how much creature control this can actually do. Don't really want to go back into Sanctum. Is it worth it here? Let's go Star Alliance. We'll just kind of start. If he's going to build a board, I'll build my own. Kind of threaten with this Z-Force agent too, so he kind of has different things he has to deal with. Put the Stealthster on the Z-Force, and then just going to reap here. I think I actually discard the Gizelhart here. I really want to stay in Star Alliance and Untamed at this point, I think. These guys just kind of want to sit here and be threatening. The 2 Kirby's are really nice too. Basically, they're going to get me these Aemberspine Mongrels down a lot more. Going back into Saurian. Could see an Axiom here, which I would honestly be fine with, because I get a steal off this guy, and it kills most of his board too. We've already seen Imperium and Spiral go, which he must have discarded with the Igor. The Chant of Hubris. Let's see what else. Could be another Imperium. A Goddess Raptor. Phalanx Strike. Yeah, he's kind of played a lot of this house already, so interested to see what he does. Cloaking Dongle on Elene here is unfortunate, because I am definitely lacking in creature control. I've got a few things, but okay, so Phalanx Strike, kill Joya and Z-Force Agent. That's totally fair. Reap and Exalt, that's fine. Goal is probably just to find the Lost in the Woods at this point. Discard Axiom. Totally happy to see that. Okay. So we know we're going Star Alliance here. We're not stopping this key anyways, and this lets me get down the Aemberspine too. So go ahead and just play this guy on the left. Play the Aemberspine on the right. Again, just trying to slow down some of this reaping as much as possible. Question is, do I throw the Z-Ray on the Seeker of Truth or on the Daemonite? I think we're going to put it on the Seeker of Truth. So that gives him enough power to kill this Tricerian Legionary. Pops the ward over here. So we're going to reap, use him, fight with this creature here, and then use this guy to fight with a non-sanctum into Ludo. And then we'll heal for 1. So they get that key, but kind of taking care of some bigger threats, and we've got the Lost in the Woods now, which could be pretty huge. I think if it stays alive, we cycle the Kirby, and I'm not sure yet. We'll see what happens this turn. We do have to bring low now with an Equalize, which is pretty nice. I mean, I guess Bring Low lets me capture on any number of creatures anyways. Okay, so still has this to deal with if he wants to reap with all these Star Alliance creatures, or he can just give me some Aember. See, he does have double zap, so double zap could also kill this pretty easily. Probably see that happen first. There are 1, 2, 3, 5 creatures, so plenty of damage coming from that. He could actually do a lot here. Stealth mode is very unfortunate because I've had a lot of creature heavy turns, so now I'm stuck with a lot of actions. Oh, just fights things off. Alright. I am so happy to see that. Reaps with the Tabor. Exalts with better Galen. Okay. Dumps the Red Alert and plays Moon to rearrange, which doesn't really make a difference here. My splash damage is gone. They do have the Cutthroat Research, which would be a reason not to go up to 8 here, but again, this deck kind of just has to rely on speed. If I go Star Alliance, I get the Seeker of Truth down anyways. I can play this fight, or just fight use. Yeah. But I can't stop this key because I can't actually kill this. Because this is, yeah, not hazardous. So they're getting this key, which is a little scary. What upgrades could I actually pull? Oh, I could pull the capture, so I can actually stop this key. So we're going to put this on him. We're going to reap, fight. What? Oh, doesn't have the upgrade trait. Never mind. And we'll... Actually, I'm not going to heal that because I want that to die anyways. Bummer. So we didn't stop the key, but we do have a lot of Aember control coming to try and close this game out. Probably get Cutthroat researched here. Not doing too much else. Candle Unit is a problem, but I think I'm going Untamed and just gonna dump that. I guess he can hologramophone it. Hits the Tabor though. Just fine with me. Don't get too much more Aember. Alright, so dodging the Cutthroat there might be the game. It's not worth going Star Alliance at this point. I think Untamed is the call. Gives me a capture, gets me the Cephaloist down, and then I have a lot of Sanctum to follow up. So I'm going to drop the Cephaloist, play this to capture on Chan since he is self-warding now, and then we're going to just launch Kirby and Cephaloist. And then, honestly, I think it's these two. Those are the ones that are going to cause the most kind of action cheating and stuff next turn. Sweet, and we got the Smite too, so that gives us a chance to kill this guy for an extra steal if we need it next turn. But I think that's probably all of their Aember control. Again, we had a pretty crazy start with the Wild Bounty into Fertility Chant. But I mean, that's just what this deck wants to do, so can't complain too much about it. Let's kind of see what we missed. And on this away team could be really relevant with the Z-Force. Just stack a bunch of stuff on there until you find your C-Force. And at least try to get it archived. More Aember Pips here. And these Kirby's, I think, are huge just to give this deck, even without logos, give it a little bit of efficiency. Okay, going into Star Alliance. Fights the Chan, which gets him the Aember back. I didn't see if they have a key cheat. They do not. At least not in Star Alliance. Plays great. Archive. Something. Imperium. Plays Molina. Plays a Force Field. Plays a Zap. Just to kill the Seeker of Truth. Actually, not enough to kill it now. Plays an Igor to keep burning through the deck, but the E-Die is already gone. Unless they have another Tau Tau. Good game. Some lucky stuff there. They missed the Zap. I guess they ended up killing it anyways, but they had to fight it. Missed the Zap to kill that one Aemberspine. We had the early Aember. But I think this deck is just... If it doesn't quite get the efficiency kind of moving the right way, especially with the Tau Tau and Igors and stuff, I think it can stall out a little bit while it goes back to find those. But, I mean, still looks like a super fun deck. Information Officer Gray especially is one that I wish I had more of this card. It's just so good, especially combos with things like E-Die. But yeah, there you go. That's just a super fast deck going super fast. Go ahead and give that one a win and keep rolling. After playing it, I think this Gizelhart could actually do a lot in this deck. You'd have to work a little bit to get it in the middle, but with the Kirby's, you're playing a lot of creatures, and then between Smite, Seeker of Truth, obviously the Z-Force Agent, I think you're just going to end up with a lot of damage on your creatures. So it could actually be a pretty valid strategy to get that out, so I'll not discard that this time with... what's that guy's name? Scout Pete. I don't say his name much. Alright, let's hop into another game. So, as I was saying, I think obviously the Aember control number is a little bit skewed because of that minus 1.8 on Fertility Chant. I don't know why Bring Low only accounts for 1. I guess it, like, as far as forging keys go, it only brings them 1 below forging a key. We didn't even see the Scrivener Favy in that game. But that one basically is a Aember Steel on play with the capture pip on it, which is pretty fun. The other pips are not anything too crazy. Extra Aember, draw, capture. Having some capture and Untamed is always fine too. If you want to get that burst turn, you have a chance of maybe just stopping that key barely. Extra Aember on Burning Glare. One of the nice things about this one is it has a lot of those extra Aember pips that you get from Untamed without having a bunch of Gloriana's Attendants. I think I have at least 2 different decks that have like triple Gloriana's Attendant. And it's just like, great. Extra Aember pips, also 3 worthless creatures. Especially if you don't have Keyfrog to like make the Keyfrog get hit by Savage Clash. So I don't know. I don't love Gloriana's Attendant. Maybe I'll just say it that way. I guess it is a little bit Infernus proof, but not really, because those Aember pips just end up in other places on things like this, where you just have 2 Aember pips on it anyways. So it almost ends up being a wash with Dust Pixie from Call of the Archons. Song of the Wilds, I think, could be really good if my opponent is having trouble killing these, because these should be a little bit stickier than normal. We'll see. Not a ton of games, but nothing too bad. Just see what's going on. let's see, what else is going on in Keyforge? Like I said, the Keyforge Premier League qualifiers are coming up. I've never tried to do anything remotely close to qualifying for that before. Again, I never really considered myself a super competitive player, and I just haven't had a collection. I really like to open my collection versus buying on the secondary market. I don't have anything against buying on the secondary market. I just am too sentimental with my decks. I feel like I want to just play what I've opened. I did buy one on the secondary market because it had the word bellowing in the name, and it has 2 bellowing Patriotates. And that was about it. Got it for like $5. It's great. It's a really fun deck. It has Mars needs Aember, so it combos really well with the bellowing Patriotates. But yeah, I just haven't really had the goods for that level, and so I'm slowly, especially with this Asmodee sale, I've been able to build up just a little bit more. I still don't think I have like a highly competitive triad, but I'm getting closer to that, so I'm gonna try out at least see how some of these qualifiers go, if I can get them in my schedule, and have some fun with that. The Firesale event I'm not participating in, but that should be pretty fun to follow as it goes, see kind of which of those decks really come out on top, and also see their kind of stats against the competitive field, and see, even as I was saying at the beginning, how much that SAS value is actually telling us about the real strength of those decks. Alright, this one, that Eden's Jar could be pretty rough. Lights out, Ghost Hawk's Fangtooth. Yeah, this is going to be a very fast game. Let's just see if I can get my value out first. Let's keep this. Gonna see if I can just get this subject Kirby warded right off the bat. That'd be pretty fun. Oh no! Of course, the Eden's Jar comes down turn 1. I don't know that there's... Probably Aemberspine would be the most disruptive, just because I'd have to discard 3 cards in my deck. Yep, Aemberspine Mongrel. That's a shame. I maybe should have mulliganed this just because of the bring low, but whatever. We'll just go for it. Now that I say this, I think seeing if I can get this Cephaloist warded. How much? There's really not a ton of steel, actually. There's Ransack. No, we're going to put it on Kirby. Just going to play this as a creature. Of course, I got these right in the same hand. Yeah, Fangtooth kills the Kirby anyways. Yep, that's fine. I mean, Fertility Chant gets me to check, so I don't mind that play at all. Just start bringing some of that pressure. Let them play some smaller creatures. I feel like they have not huge creatures, so that Fangtooth could work in my favor. Don't love that. I don't think I mind it too much either. Just go Sanctum. Against something like this, I do just want to keep cycling cards to make sure they don't gum me up too much. Oh man, even with the Resurgence, that Aemberspine hit with this is pretty rough, and we've got no artifact control, so... Okay, didn't use the Snudge though, so I'm cool with that. Some steal potential here now. Let's see. I don't mind Resurgencing the Kirby, but I don't think Untamed is the right play. I think I'll go back into Sanctum here. Is that right? I don't have much for them to steal. Let's go Star Alliance. Just again, kind of start putting more of these threats out. I think the more I can do that while gaining Aember, the more I just kind of keep them on their back foot. We'll see if that works out or not. Do have the Favian now, but I still need to kill definitely some of these things. There's a Heist Knight to steal 3. I only had 1. So I'm very fine with that happening. Got the lights out, which will bounce this guy probably. And yeah. Oh, and the away team. Interesting. Seeker Needle on Cephaloist. Fights the Cephaloist. And then Reap, so we're not stopping the key here. So I think I just get some board control back and go from there. Play the Gizelhart on the right. Play the Favian on the right. We'll steal with that. Fight that Snudge, and then just Reap here. Nothing too crazy, but just getting out of the way. These Untamed cards are just going to sit there for a little while, I think. I'm glad I haven't seen many of these yet. That's kept me from slowing down too much. Infernus is not getting as much value as it could here. I've already gotten my Forge off of this, so yeah, they purge it anyways. It's fine. And Snarette. Fangtooth kills the Demo Thief, which has nothing to steal. Okay. I think I actually like the Untamed turn here because I get a steal off this, and then I can bring back the Cephaloist and Kirby, which will give me more stuff for next turn. So let's just do that. Do this, steal 1, Resurgence for Cephaloist, and these are really tempting with the Z-Force, but I think the Kirby is just going to give me more value in the long run. So we've got him in the center now, so we're probably going to do some fighting. Ooh, big Reclaim by Nature. Song of the Wild and Ghost Talk is also good. Alright, that's a lot of Aember. So we're going to go Sanctum. Doesn't have any 3-power creatures, so that's not doing a whole lot. Let's fight. Fight. We'll fight. What? Oh, that's why you read cards. Fully heals non-mutant creatures, and everything I have alive right now is a mutant. So that's unfortunate. Bummer. Discards the Z-Force. That's a shame. Bounce the Favian, though. It's kind of interesting. So we're going to go Star Alliance. Play Kirby on the right. I think we play Scrivener just for the steal. We'll go ahead and blow up Francis. I think we discard the Chan and then play that guy on the left. Oh, it's not looking good. I feel like we're kind of lost a lot of steam there. Just playing some Untamed now. Kills the subject Kirby, makes sense. Yeah, not great. I do need to get rid of some of this untamed stuff. We'll go back into Star Alliance though for one more turn. Throw this on him so we can get it back anyways. We'll go ahead and just fight here. Reap. Discard the Aemberspine, so that's at least giving us a little bit of efficiency there. This is one of the issues, is there's not only one of the capture pips is in Sanctum. The rest of them are in, I think they're almost all in Untamed. There's just not many of them in general, I think. Okay, so killed that one. Just fine, I can smite to kill some of this stuff if I need to. Okay, so we'll have a decent Sanctum turn here, but I think that might be the end of the game, just because if he goes to 6, I think I'm done. Play this guy on the right. We will reap, and then smite with him here, which does not get me the extra. Yeah. Second game, these two have been pretty low. I think I need those Ambers to do a whole lot, but just unfortunate. You can't actually steal right now because of this, which I don't think he has much to steal with anyways. Resurgence for Furnace. Why did... Oh, because he put it between those two. Probably thought they were going to check there. That actually probably gives me a very small chance. I can at least dump some of this stuff. So play that. Play that on the right. Discard because it's doing nothing. Discard. Discard. Fight this so I can actually be in check at least. But yeah, one more Aember and that's game. And I will also not get check. Actually, I only have one Aember pip, so take that. Oh no, I have two. I have the bring low. And they have a capture, so I guess I'm not getting to check anyways. But maybe they're not either. Discards Guilty Hearts, because that kills them, but that would have won them the game if they'd have just played it. So now we're going to do left, left, right, right, and then we're just going to fight there. Still have no Aember control, so again, one Aember and I lose. But recycled now at least. Yeah, there's lights out. After stealing one. Ah, just when I could get an amazing Gizelhart play. So we're going to do this anyways just for fun. We'll Burning Glare. Stun him for 2 Aember. Play this on the right. Use this card's action ability. And be done with it. So what happened early in that game? Why did I not get the speed I was looking for? I guess I got that first cube really fast. Really what killed us. One, this came out turn 1, which didn't end up mattering because my Aemberspines were pretty low in the deck, but the problem was most of my Untamed was low in the deck, and so I was getting that with those Aemberspines late in the game, and so I just kind of ground to a halt. And was not able to do much else. I misread Mad Prophet Gizelhart. That doesn't help. So I'll be more aware of that next time. How many mutants does this deck have? It only has 5. I think I had 4 of them on the board. So just the worst timing and placement of that in general. Also, this deck wasn't relying too much on reaping, so the reap hate cards that I did have weren't doing much. These other Aember Burst cards were pretty late. Surprised he didn't say the subject Kirby with this, but I think, you know, you see 3 of something in the deck, that's going to be a lot of value with Eden's Jar, almost no matter what card it is, because it just makes so many dead cards in your opponent's deck. Let's go for 3 here. 1. I did open this past week at Locals. I opened my first library card deck that has... Oh man, let's see if I can find it. It was just a nonsense deck. It's Dark Path. So, just look at this artifact suite. So we've got Autoencoder. We've got Fission Bloom. So both Autoencoder and Mutagenic Serum have pips on them. Autoencoder is a draw. Mutagenic Serum is a draw and an Amber. It's got Gorm of Om, so it has its own artifact control. It's got Library Card, which again, I have a draw on Autoencoder and Mutagenic Serum. And it's got Orb of Wonder. So the Library Card turn that this deck can have is bonkers. And like, I was playing it blind, and I still think I drew probably like 16 cards when I actually did my library card turn, because I still had the Autoencoder and Mutagenic Serum in hand. I had Fission Bloom on the board already. There's also things like QMEX, which doesn't have any pips on it, but it's 2 draws on a library card turn. Causal Loop was already in my archive, so that was an extra draw. And then Professor Torado also has a draw icon on it. So it was pretty crazy. Unfortunately, that turn happened when my opponent had like 16 Amber, and you can see there's 0 Amber control in this Logos, which is not my favorite. I think if this had one Effervescent Principle, it's a totally different story. But unfortunately, it does not. Still a very fun deck. It's got the Kirby's, it's got other stuff going on just to make it like fast and do crazy things. So I am totally fine with this hand. We've got the Kirby for some efficiency. What are they playing? Barf. This is gonna hurt. We'll do protection for now. So Maverick Tribute. They do not have... They don't have really any way of getting the Amber off of the Tribute except for the Ludo to just blow it up. They don't have a... Yeah, they don't have an Exile or anything like that, so that's fine. They have really big creatures that I think I'm going to have a hard time with. We've got Double Axiom, which I'm not capturing much, so that could hurt. They've got Zenzi, which is going to hurt. Let's see. Let's do Star Alliance. Gonna drop this guy on the right. We're gonna put this on him. I know he's got the Dysania, which is a problem. Let's put the Aemberspine Mongrel down just to, again, try to ward off some of that stuff. There's an Axiom, so that'll do it. And now that Zenzi's warded, and it's still in the middle. Yeah, this is going downhill fast. So let's just see if we can get a key here. Drop that, and drop that. Yeah, and that Axiom doesn't even hurt him because I've got the Zenzi out, so I probably should have just fought with the Champion of Outfield on the turn I had it. They don't have a ton of other creature control outside of those Axioms, though, so it's probably worth the gamble, because then they also had to have Starring Creatures, or at least 2 of them, to get the Zenzi back in the center if they wanted to play any of them. So I think I still maybe made the right play, but obviously at this point it's the wrong play because I am now super behind. This This makes me think I might have a chance of getting this key at least. Oh, buddy. Again, my creature control is pretty limited to fighting. It can fight okay, and then we've got the Lost in the Woods, but something like a Savage Clash would not make me sad in this deck. So we're gonna go Sanctum. Question here is whether or not I hold the Bring Low. I think based on how many creatures they have, it's probably not worth it. We're gonna steal with that. Gonna play the Baron on the left, and then I'll just do this, and then we'll ping a ward. It doesn't almost hardly matter because they're gonna ward up again next turn. Yeah, we'll just force them to do it at least. Yeah, this Star Alliance is gonna kill us. So I guess I was talking about decks that are deficient in one thing specifically. I would say, one, I don't know why Barrister Joy accounts for 2 points of creature control. Maybe that's all I need to say. This deck is also very deficient in creature control, so a line like this is probably going to hurt me pretty quick. Stealth mode, so no actions. I think that's fine. I didn't want to go into Untamed here anyways. Fights the Flumph. So I could actually take him off key if I go into Sanctum. But I think I have to force them to fight my board or play their other Axiom. So the more of this kind of stuff I can get down, the better. They do go to 7, unfortunately. So I can't stop them with Fabian either now. And they play discards Kincan, which I'm fine with because that means they're not stealing as much. So Sanctum feels like the greedier play here, although it would help me really reduce some of the Star Alliance stuff. Is that worth it? Kills the Fabian. No. We'll get to it. Okay, so we're going to play... I'm on the right, play this as an upgrade, attach there, and then steal with Fabian. Play this upgrade, attach there. Him on the right. Sadly, don't have anything to capture with, or to play with him, but these Song of the Wilds are making me sad. Again, just not seeing any of these Aemberspine Mongrels, which would actually probably be doing a lot at this point, because this board really doesn't want to fight 3 power hazardous creatures. But we'll see what he makes of this, because this, if he doesn't take care of it like this turn, this could really start doing some damage to him, especially with the Z-Ray Blaster. Star Alliance. Tachyon Pulse, I think, exhausted at least. If he has that. Gonna try and draw into it. I have 0 creatures in here to even pull with the subject Kirby. It's so sad. Plays a Chant with Kirby. I'm totally fine with that. Reaps with Ingram. So now the goal is basically blow up as much as we can on this side of the board so that this guy gets turned off. Explore Over probably fights the Kirby. Yep. Still worth it to go back into Star Alliance here. I'm going to throw this on him. He's going to wreak havoc. Where do I want to fight, though? I think I fight this guy before he actually starts getting a lot of value. There's no elusive, right? Yeah, and that kills the Kirby, too. And then we'll... Let's see. Doesn't have a graft, right? Yeah, I'm going up. Reap, and then we'll use... Oh, he is elusive. Dang. We'll use Baronon to fight into him again. turn that off, get rid of his Enrage, and turn off some of these leaders. Not too hard to get Zenzi back online, but we'll see if he goes for that or Val. Now we just have to find a way to actually kill Zenzi, which I think the Smite with the Z-Ray Blaster actually does a lot here, if I can get it off. Probably just need to go untamed at this point, though. If Fabian stays alive, we can actually do a double steal with this combo. But otherwise, these are just doing nothing, because my untamed creatures are the only ones that have not stuck to the board, which is unfortunate. So they have not called Saurian for quite a while. So I would guess they have a decent hand of that. One Axiom is still coming. Chant of Hubris is gone. Double Odoax could come down. It's just a lot of creatures if they go Saurian. Yeah, Star Alliance here. Makes sense. I think they still have a hard time killing this. Breaks the elusive. Fights. Wards the Kirkar. But he's got elusive. Oh no, Ingram just broke the elusive. That's okay. I think I'm totally fine with them really focusing on killing him. Killing the Val, I'm really fine with. Still don't have... Okay, that gets Zenzi back in the middle. So the Smite is not doing as much here at this point, which is unfortunate. We are checking, though, if they don't play much else. Which I think they played most of what they have. Tachyon Pulse doesn't really do much here. Oh, Kirkar fought the Fabian. That's a bummer, but it makes sense. That's a smart play for them. I think they still don't want to fight into these creatures, so I think I just try and get back. I think we just do the Untamed turn here. Yeah. Oh, no, I can't play it anyways. I was going to say I could get the Scrivener back because it's a mutant, but do this to capture. Play this for nothing. Play Resurgence for Kirby for a second one, and then get the Aemberspine back. Throw that on the right. The wards from this are really killing me. That lets them fight for closer to free. This actually discourages Axiom now, which is good. Probably should have left it off that one so that the Axiom would let me steal. But, I mean, they have to deal with this now. These are still threats. This is still threats. So I think the leaders being online for so long, or Zenzi specifically being online for so long, is really killing me. Letting them call Star Alliance so many times is really hurting me. But I think what's going to happen is they're just going to end up with a turn of just a ton of Saurian creatures that they have to play out. Okay, kills the Aemberspine because they kind of had to. Did it before warding something, so that's fine. Because now we're going to put down the Barrister. Okay, can't stop this key. Just fine. I think I am going to try and kill that if I get the chance. I might kill both of these just to finally try and turn that off, which it might be off this turn anyways if they don't have another creature to play. Doesn't matter because they have 9 cards in their hand, so they wouldn't draw regardless if they don't play more than 1 card here, which I would imagine they They don't have many left. Tribute goes on to Triceran Legionary right now, which I could... It would take a lot to kill that at the moment. Just deciding what they're playing with Tabor right now, which luckily I think they just have a lot of creatures left, so there's probably not too many things. They have a lot of logos left too. They've just been playing... Oh, yeah, they have probably almost a full logos hand, so those Edis are probably coming down next turn if I can clear away a little bit more of the Star Alliance. Oh, that can play creatures. I don't know why I was thinking it couldn't. That's weird. Looks like a Great Sanctum turn. So you're going to play Gizelhart on the right, play Joya on the right. Doesn't quite get this online, but let's see, how do I want to do this? I could remove 3 wards here with the Smite, which doesn't sound bad. So let's do this. We're going to put an Aember on Gizelhart and put 1 back onto Baronon. And then we're going to put this on Tabor because he's got to go. Let's fight. Reap. Smite. Takes care of 3 wards. I'm not expecting to get to use this at this point, I don't think. We'll just leave it up there. Huh. It's a Reap capture 2. For some reason, I always thought that was an action capture 2 on him, so that was actually a much better turn than I thought, because I got to keep him off check, too. Thero fights Barrister Joya, makes sense. Yeah, man, these Untamed cards are just not coming in the order I would like them to. I just really need more of these guys coming down. That fights Baronon, so they go back into check, which makes sense too. Probably plays an Odoak, and that's it. Just perfects this Ludo. It's a shame I don't have one more. Oh, I guess it wouldn't work because this is a mutant, so he can't heal him anyways. Gotta remember that. So Star Alliance might actually be the right play here because I get to activate. I get an extra activate with the Chan anyways. And this would heal 1 off of these 2, which would give me Aember. And with Star Alliance, I could actually play enough to activate that. So maybe that is the call. And hold this for when he does that tribute. Plays a second Thero. So they actually have a hand size of 6 finally. Fantastic. So Star Alliance, I would get 3 off of that if I fight with him. Probably doesn't make much difference. Let's go Star Alliance. We're going to do Kirby on the right. It really doesn't matter too much. I think we'll dunk him because we're probably going to do Untamed next turn. Let's fight and then action. Play this guy on the left and get to discard the Seeker of Truth. That's actually about the only thing we wanted to hit there. Now the problem is, can they just reap? To go to check. Saurian would be 4, that would be enough. I would have to call Sanctum and run this guy into something. And they still have that tribute and Edai's coming. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Okay, yeah, so I have to go Sanctum. Let me think about how to sequence his turn. So he has to die. So anything with 5 power. Which a Ludo probably makes sense. Because he didn't actually get any of the Odoax, and that's very relevant here. I can fight. Here. To fight with him here. Doesn't matter, he's not going to get to do his ability anyways. We'll reap. And then we will Burning Glare. Stun. Let's see. I think he's going into Logos, which probably screws me no matter what, but let's just hit him anyways. Yeah. So he either has the tributes to stop me, or the Edai's to stop me, or I win. Let's see if he finds the tribute. Set Archives 1. 1 Edai still doesn't do it. Plays Igor. That will probably get him anything he needs that he hasn't drawn yet. This game is tense. It's actually very close for what it could be. I think, again, a lot of my mass mutation decks, maybe it's just me in general. Like, I just have not had a good relationship with a lot of Untamed. Okay, there's the Tribute, which is already more Aember than I can deal with, so just a bummer. Desania gets nothing. Code Monkey gets him too, so yeah, we're way past now. Dang. And again, I don't know if it's draw order that's killing me, or if it is just like the Untamed is so kind of combo dependent. Like these Aemberspines, again, I keep drawing them so late in the game that they're just not doing much. But they need to stay down for the Song of the Wilds to work, but the problem is they're big targets, so they don't stay down, so... Okay, well, we'll just dump these and show him if I could have stopped him for one more turn. It would have been brutal, but no luck. GG. Cool. I mean, that was probably a closer game than it could have been, I think. Either way, one of these decks just gets out on top. Because again, we saw it, well, no, because if I keep on top of their creatures, then they just Axiom me. They didn't Axiom because they had so many more creatures than me most of the game. Just didn't matter. So maybe that's probably just a tough one for this one to win most of the time. Unless I can actually use capture pips to capture a lot and then just kind of fight their board down for a while. A ward on him would have been pretty good bet. So let's think about this one. I don't mind it, especially like for a 64. It's definitely holding pretty well just because it is so fast. And I think I probably complained about decks that just do one thing a couple videos ago, so that's pretty lame of me. This one is doing it with like some combos and stuff, so I really like it. Z-Force Agent, I've opened a lot of him lately. He's a really fun card if you can actually get him going. So it's always a fun just like game to try and play, is like see if you can actually activate a Z-Force Agent sometime in a game. This is my first deck, I believe, with Scrivener Fabian, so doing a little bit there. Lots of combo potential if you can get some of these, like, what is it, the Wild Bounty off with either, like we saw, the Fertility Chant, Lost in the Woods, or the Song of the Wilds that has a capture on it to actually get a couple steals off Scrivener Fabian. But this Untamed is really struggling to do what it needs to, whether it's because of draw order or Aemberspine Mongrels are just actually easier to kill than I want them to be. Yeah. Hadron Collision. I saw some people arguing about this card. It's not my favorite. So I'm definitely more on the side of the guy who was saying it's a terrible card. Doesn't get prevented by armor or moves a ward, so that's fine, but it's so situational, and it doesn't have an Amber Pip, and it does 3 damage, which, like, even in Mass Mutation, just doesn't kill many things. There's so many 4-power creatures, so yeah, it's good at killing, like, Daughter or whatever, but not my favorite. Haven't really had a whole lot of away team success, even though there are, is it 5 upgrades? Yeah. With the Explorer Rover and Stealthster, it's 5 upgrades. Subject Kirby's are great, especially with cards like Aemberspine and Barrister. They just kind of add that extra dimension of adding disruption to the board. I think I got the what is it? Bringlow has been pretty close to my opening hand a couple times, so that didn't help. But I don't know. It's a pretty fun deck. I think in some SAS caps or something, it could be pretty fun if you can get these down and actually keep them alive. It would really slow your opponent down. Always fun to see multiples of an uncommon, especially. So cool. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Again, probably just going to try and do some gameplay videos. I'm working on some series that once I actually have more time to record, I'm going to do. I think I really want to do, I talked about this the other time, a low SAS series where I just go through, like, especially AOA decks. I have some that are like really fun, really low, like 50 something SAS that I just want to play, and I think just see how good I can actually do with them, or how well I can play them. I really love just the challenge of trying to win games that I have no right to win with decks like that. I think it's one of my favorite things in this game, which is why I'm not good at competitive, because I just end up losing those games because I have no right to win them. Because I end up bringing decks that I are probably just more combo-y than they are consistent. So I want to do that, so just kind of like a series on like really heavily digging into like this deck only has, it's not great, it only has kind of one avenue to win in this matchup. I want to look at every play like, okay, this is how I can win. What do I have to do this play to win with that win condition? Because with those lower SAS decks, a lot of times like you're banking on one turn happening, and so you have to do everything you can to set that turn up. Which, especially with those decks, if they're lower on efficiency, you have to really think about when you're holding or discarding or playing cards, which are just fundamentals of Keyforge that I just want to get better at, and I think playing those games will get better, and I think it will, yeah, just provide, hopefully, some content, fun stuff for people to watch and just think through, like, what can I do with these lower SAS decks and stuff. I also want to do some like deep dives, so work towards 100 plays with just a couple of my decks, just to kind of almost do like there's a couple different systems out there, the NARP system or whatever, which I don't have a lot of notes on those decks, but just trying to slowly work towards building that like really in-depth relationship with a couple decks that like are some of my favorites. So we'll do that, and then the last one is kind of along the veins of, this will be more just like kind of for fun discussion stuff, but along the veins of the like hero or villain discussion I had the other video, trying to almost work through one, like I said, trying to label more of my decks that way, but also kind of adding in like side characters and then also like the side villains or henchmen or whatever, where you have like the very, very archetypal, like, oh, this is a dinosaur player and this is a like bug player or whatever. Obviously, I'm going off of the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff again, but just kind of filling out more of those labels and then actually trying to create almost like a campaign of decks to work through, that like maybe I put one of my other decks through sort of this like campaign where like the deck difficulty gets harder, the like play styles can change, or you have like branches or whatever. So I think it'd be really fun to think through labeling decks that way and then try to almost make out this like hero's path of those decks that I could put like a hero deck through. For reference, this deck I would definitely say is not a villain deck. I also don't think it has kind of the big enough like last turn it around like against all odds plays to be a hero deck. So this would be maybe like a side character deck or something. Especially with the Aemberspine Mongrels, it's more just like, this is my favorite card, or the Z-Force agent. Like, I think those kind of lend themselves more to like the kind of quirky side character decks where it's just like, this is like the center point of my deck. Even the Mad Prophet can kind of fill in some of those roles. So it has a lot of those like very unique cards in it that give a deck the kind of flavor, but they don't really have one of those like, you know, big comeback turns or just like oppressively oppressively disruptive or fast kind of decks. It has the speed thing, but I don't think it has quite the other tools to make that dangerous. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to call it Joey. That'll be my side hero character, side character label. And then, of course, the side character evil will be like Rex Raptor, because that guy was just ridiculous. Thanks for watching. This has been Curator Elene, and we'll see you next time. I think the next deck we're doing might be Dark Path, just because it's such a ridiculous deck. It's going to be really fun to play, but I do have some of these other lower SAS ones that I want to work through that have some fun stuff, so we'll see which one I decide. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.